Guys, welcome back to another episode of Unmotivated, man. We're following up with sitting down with Whiskey Tango's Daniel. Dan, what's your last name? Is it Scott?
Yeah.
Look, I said it before you said it, all right? When you
did,
said it.
yeah, you're
now,
right.
We're going to start this episode unlike we start most episodes because in the last episode, I didn't ask you the first question. And the question is what keeps you motivated, man?
Oh, man. I'm at a funny point in my life. Like, I'm 51, and I've kind of taken a step back from one of my main businesses, and so keeping me motivated. Like, I think my father instilled a good drive in me.
Yeah.
And I like to win. I'm competitive, and
But you're like a peaceful competitive man.
yeah. I'm the nicest competitor.
Yeah,
A lot of times,
I'm
I'm easy, but I'm like, I also want to win. And so I don't know, win is a great word, but like,
I think it's a great word because I think we've gotten to a society where we don't understand the power of wins and losses, right?
yeah,
So
I mean,
in your case,
I agree. But like, I think that like, just the grind every day. Like, I was just instilled that from a kid, man. I mean, we worked hard for what we had, and we learned to appreciate what we had because of our hard work. And so when we see those results, I think this is a funny analogy, but like, I bought a skid steer that had like land clearing capability and stuff like that. Very satisfying to me to go out and work for a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours in that thing, and then be able to look at it and see what I had accomplished. Where much of my work is not that way, right?
but I think that's important too. So talk about that because I was a kid. I hated cutting grass, but when you look out from the top bathroom, and see to yourself, and you go, "Wow, look at the lines in that grass." You go,
Yeah.
"Damn, that felt like you did something, right?"
Yeah.
So in your
Yeah.
case,
it's
now
instant gratification for something that you can see and measure and quantify that you had success.
yeah. Yeah.
And so like in much of what we do, me and you both,
Oh, for sure.
it's very difficult to quantify.
Dude, impossible because look, social media have people confused with thinking like, yo, this is going to happen overnight. You're going to make one video, it's going to go viral, you're going to change your business. I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, not
and
at
I
all.
literally walked the company through this. True story. Can you show me all the pages you built? I said, well, first, go to all three of mine because, there's 380, 1.4 million, and 917,000 just on mine. Now, go to this page, and the last page I sent him was the Whiskey Blendery. So the natural approach is, what makes the Blendery special? Is because I believe that with work, it would be special, but it was going to take time. And he entrusted in me the time that allowed us to grow. What that means is some people see 90 days of work and go, I'm not seeing what I want to see. You go, yeah, they paid me a good price, but you go, we're just at the beginning, man.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, do you think you figure this out? Yeah, I think I can. I'm like, all right, good luck.
Yeah.
In Tim's case, he said, I'm not confused. Like, this is working. If I didn't think it was working, I would do something different.
Right.
So when you say, even being motivated, you go, wow, there's a very special things that are taking place at the Blendery and with the Blendery and the content of the Blendery that wasn't there, right?
Yeah, and I think you touched on something earlier, like, when we were talking with me and Tim and you, like, we don't even talk about profitability or money. Like, that's not it. That's not the motivating factor.
At all.
Like, that's a quantifying fact, but it's not the motivating factor.
Which is why, guys, I'm telling you right now, it's easy for you to work with companies because I actually saved the video and I could play it in this mic right now. A woman said this: brand is the best thing and worst thing. The best part of it is priceless. The worst part of it is it doesn't have a high ROI.
Right.
So if we looked at the numbers and I said, hey, this is going to matter one day, and a guy like, Tim or you go, well, I want to see a return on profit because maybe you're spending money. Hey, you're paying me. You go, it doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah.
We've got to master the messaging, and that could take 6, 9, 8 months.
Yeah.
What I promise, and this is my promise to most people, is I'll figure it out. I promise I'll figure it out. I'm gonna
You
tell
show up, right?
I show up.
Yeah, show up.
Look, and the best part, I haven't even got into the good messages with Tim, but Jamarcus is the only person that could attest to this. For 6 months, almost, I showed up at the Blendery on Tuesdays and various other days. Tim's, man, you got to get on the calendar. You're like, yeah, whatever, get up, let's go. We got videos to shoot. And, that could be challenging for someone who doesn't know what value they add. Fast forward, when I show up now, it's like, hey, we got to shoot videos on this and that.
Yeah.
Like, gotcha. And it's only because of the consistency and my belief in the blendery, to be clear, and its ability to create messaging. So I promise you, showing up's a part of the battle, creativity's the part of the battle, but having a soul and giving a business life is every part of the value. And there's no day where I wake up and I'm like, we've done enough. If anything, there's moments where we have to go and revisit, man. Daniel, your experience, because you've been a part of great businesses, what's the hardest part about starting a business, man?
I don't know. To be fair with you, I don't know what the hardest part about it is.
You've started a few, though.
I
You've
have,
been in
absolutely. And so what's funny about it is, like, when I go to a marketing company when I'm starting a business, they're like, "Well, what's your business plan? What's your marketing budget? What's your strategy on growth?"
Funny because
and I'm like, "Hey, man, here's the deal. I've got an end point in mind that I'm going to, and I've got some ways that I want to get there. Can you help me get there?" Because like starting.
What I love, though, is that, for one, people listen to what he said. 9 out of 10 marketing companies are going to see how much money they can hit you over the head for.
That's right.
My third question is what's your budget? Because if I don't see a soul or a passion for it, I promise you don't pay me. I've literally told companies, even Azu from Urban Active Fitness, Urban Grit Fit, he goes, Trev, most people wouldn't tell him that because most of them are tying up for money. I'm like, just use your iPhone. Like, don't call me because you don't want to pay that price.
I guess I mean I'm a little bit self-made in that, like, I've never started a business with a business plan, right? So I've just always had a vision in my head that.
So kind of a strategy, though, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I can quantify, sometimes I can't. I don't recommend that. I don't think that's the wisest thing to do. I'm not saying that I was the smartest guy doing that, but I would say that, like, I knew that I was always betting on myself, and I was fairly confident that I was able to do what I wanted to do. So
yeah, but so then, what is your first thought when you're coming to a new market that you don't understand or doesn't make sense? Because I agree with you 100%.
I didn't know shit about whiskey. I didn't know shit about liquor. I didn't know anything about retail. Hey, let me tell you real quick, fast story. So in Missouri, it's a 3-tier
hand me
state.
that right now while you're talking, buddy.
Yeah.
Let me see that right there. There we go.
You're gonna. I know you love that. You've already tried it, but, like, good Lord, it's
Dude,
good.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
If nobody tells you this, guys, if you don't get Friday night, I'm gonna tell you this. What I love about the blendery, it's called limited edition for a reason. You know that there's certain amount of Jordans that drop. You go, listen, my man, this is one of them ones you might want to get, because once it's gone, you can't even share those with a friend.
Big shout out to Tim. He was like, "Hey, you can take those with you tonight, or you can leave them here." I was like, "I'm leaving these here." So yeah, so those are staying with you. So, hey, man, so I start this liquor store. Missouri is a 3-tier state, so that means the distillery sells to the distributor sells to the retailer. Okay, 3 tiers. So the manufacturer sells to the distributor has to sell to the retailer. So you have to go to a distributor to get stuff. I don't research that. I don't know anything. I'm building this business out of necessity. My father was sick. Gas station was failing. I was not going to spend any money to remodel a gas station and keep losing money. So I said, well, the only thing that's making a little bit of money is booze.
Boom.
Yeah, so let's go. So, this guy is like, hey, I turned this order into this one rep, and it's like, I want everything. Like, everything that's on an allocated list, I'm like, I'll take 2 cases of each of them. Let's just go do this. And he's like, hey, man, I don't know if you know how this works or not, but, like, you won't get 90% of that ever. Maybe even 100%. I go, okay. I'm just a guy who sources things. Like my business, my other business, if we need something, we go get it. And if you can't provide it to me, I'm going to go find somebody who can. So my dumbass, I find some place that's selling Bland's, and everybody's hitting me up over Bland's. Freaking Bland's. It's the biggest thing ever. And I knew what Blanton's was. I mean, I drink bourbon and stuff like that. But, like, so I just go around and source all these Blantons. And on my opening day, when my vendor comes in, guess what I've got? Shelf full of Blantons.
Shit.
It's not legal. He's like, where'd you get it? I was like, man, it's for me to worry about. You find out. Like, if you're not gonna help me out, like, I'm gonna get it from somewhere.
Somewhere, right?
Yeah, and he, to his credit, he could have turned me in or whatever. And I just, I mean, like I just didn't know, So, I mean, I don't think that's a way to start a business. But I learned fast. I learned a lot. And then,
Look, from where I sit, it's the exact way to start a business. I'd rather know that the business is supposed to mean something to matter and that it came at a cost in terms of loss than to presume that it was like, oh, this all worked out.
yeah.
Every business, like, let me ask you this, and you've been around business for a long time. There's no blueprint for Apple.
Yeah,
You can't recreate Apple or Google. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I think that my my ignorance in knowing how to do things, but my drive superseded that, right? So like I was going to get it, I was going to win, even if he couldn't supply it, and then and then we worked the secret sauce, and we don't even carry Blanton's anymore. We don't carry those products.
We don't carry trash no more.
Yeah, I mean,
Regular whiskey we do not keep.
We had a bottle share the other night, and this guy pulls out an old Rip Van Winkle 10-year, nice bottle, great
I've
bottle.
had it. I've had
nice
it.
bottle.
Literally.
But I mean, there's like 40 other bottles on the table, and I go, bro, you don't know your audience, like. And then I start
the disrespect, bro. This ain't the movies, my man.
No. He's such a sweet guy and great guy, and it's, it was. But I had to give him a hard time to let him know, like, you don't know your audience, like. And hey, here's the deal: there's 30 people in there on a bottle share, and nobody touches that bottle. Does that tell you we got some good bottles?
Hey, that speaks volumes, my friend.
Buddy, like people, we're training customers to know what good bourbon is, and they appreciate not searching for the allocated stuff that people are, flexing with pictures on. That's not any good. It's just not good.
Look, let me tell you this, guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including Daniel, on camera right now. People in my house. The best picture we take or share tonight is the one you didn't see.
Yeah.
Because let me be very clear. Every one of these guys, including Daniel, are whiskey aficionados. So whereas they're trying new whiskey, drinking new whiskey, and sharing whiskey, nobody's taking 1,500 photos because they round great whiskey.
That's right.
So you go, what was the best bottle you have? Probably the one you never saw, and I promise you, it wasn't Pappy.
Yeah.
Or George Stagg or William LaRue or all the ones that you thought.
Some of those bottles are great. Don't get me wrong.
For sure, 100%.
Some of those bottles are great, and they have paved the way for bourbon. I'm not coming in here and crapping all over those or anything like that. There's some that are great, but what I love is creating an environment where we have sourced out not only blendery bottles but other single barrels that we've carved out relationships with to build our brand, and the people that are in our community realize these bottles are so much better than that unicorn bottle that's not a unicorn bottle, that's not very good, and that nobody even touches it. They're like, we're gonna stick with what we brought and the things we have.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, guys, let me tell you this, and again, we're not going to extend this too long. We're at the 13-minute mark. That's 2:15s where you got to learn a little bit about Daniel, and Tim talked a good portion of the last one because he's a believer in what Daniel's doing. Whiskey Tangos in Ozark, Missouri is a business who's learning its place in space and how to control the space they live in, specific to whiskey. And my God, such great barrels coming and going, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And Daniel, you got a lot of questions or a few about marketing and stuff. And as I told Daniel, I said, my man, I can get this up in 48 hours and you can use Opus Lip, what you learned.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And you go, wow, that's fun. Even myself, I go, wow, that was a good cut of things that Tim and I did. And you go, that gives you access to unlimited content.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like just taking some of the stuff that you've taught me and implementing that and doing that, like it's and then scheduling it out, because I was in Florida for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, I took one night, scheduled that stuff out, and then it just starts hitting.
And now talk about that too, because Daniel's actually worked hard a good portion of his life. So imagine if all you had to do was schedule content out. Let's say you get to 10,000 followers, 30,000 followers, and then everybody buys your bottles because you scheduled out content relative to the things you enjoy and passionate about. And you go, I spent an hour doing that to make $20,000 a post.
Yeah, was that work?
No, because at the end of the day, when I got done, oh, that's right, I was sitting on the beach drinking mahis or, whatever.
Mahi's a fish you eat.
Oh, my
Not
bad.
you drink that.
There you go. See what
Mai
I'm saying?
Tais.
I don't. Mai Tais. There it is. That's what I was thinking. Mai Tais, and I was with my wife enjoying the peace and quiet for a moment. But 1 hour of work yielded this much reward. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go-
So much return.
And for like we grew up in an era where labor was everything, right? You're as good as your last brick per se.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you and honestly, Chris Hewells, Tim's brother, have got me leaning into AI so much for everything, in both of my active businesses, to implement like workflow process,
Huge.
automation. Like, I mean, it's we are. I realize we're on the cutting edge of like the next year or two is gonna be crazy.
And again, what I love about guys who understand business and the responsibility business yields or provides to those people who are innovators or creators is like, if we start something today, it won't be good for a year.
That's right.
So for even him to think, oh man, we're gonna be good, he's like, nah. I'm like, I would come in from a true marketing standpoint. And mind you, there's marketing companies like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm like, no, we're not. I told Tim, I said it might take 2 years. It might take a year and 18 months, or a year and 6 months, which is 18 months. It might take this time. I said, but trust me, this is how it's gonna work, and I was right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I said,
and I saw it firsthand,
hey,
bro. I
you
mean,
were-
I had a front row seat.
And that's the part where big thank you to Whiskey Tangos, because I literally said, Tim, we got to create a data footprint. That means we build the foundation of communication through the things that we do every day. Second, something's going to hit the lottery. First video frothing, 3 videos dumping barrels,
Yeah.
1.2 to 2 point plus million likes. Now the challenge is that some people was like, oh, let me chase the likes. That ain't the business. What's the business? Value add, which is through communication and education. So do we change anything? No. When we're dumping a barrel, we'll record it. When we're not dumping a barrel, we'll still record, because there's so much value in the blendery, right? And the byproduct is every time we see a valuable video, we pin it. In the pinning of it, you go, wow, man. You see that video, Trev? Tim's told me times. He was doing 400,000. I'm like, oh, shit, why didn't you tell me? I'll pin it. Because I don't keep track of that stuff. Now you look up 3 videos, 1.2 to literally 2.5 plus million likes and follows or just views. You go, there's a line. And it wasn't because we were looking for it. I literally said, we're at the lottery twice. We hit it 4 times technically. And every time we hit it, it grew the page, which grew the engagement, it grew the involvement, it grew the support. And the beauty about whiskey is people follow you to support and spend money.
Yeah.
So the same
Yeah, but
formula
Go ahead.
at the fucking Whiskey Tangos.
Yeah, but to whoever's listening to this right now, like, rewind that 30 seconds that you just put out, and like, that is gold.
Gold.
I mean, that is gold, worth the price of admission, and
It's
like,
but it's
I mean,
consistency,
I love
man.
that. I love that you share that, man. Like,
It's the truth, bro. I didn't sell.
You've said the same thing to me. I've seen you, and
Look.
we've talked about it before, but like to say it, in a live format or whatever this is.
I'm
but
gonna tell you this, guys. Look, I'm a black guy. For those that see this film, and 9 out of 10 African Americans will use the "life is against me" thing. Tim allowed me to come in, and a lot of times I'm the only black guy in the room. And he said, I didn't trust a lot of people. You made it make sense. People had already pitched the blendery, helping him, social media manager, all this other shit. I get companies literally all the time saying, hey, I've got a social media manager. I got like something like, and none of them are obsessed with you. They go, what do you mean? Your story isn't the whiskey. Your story isn't your dog product. Your story, like this is a story. And they go, well, yeah, nobody ever told me that. I said, fucking exactly.
Yeah.
Then you don't see fast results, so you go, I'm discouraged. I'm like, I remember to this day when there was 12 and 18 people following me. Now, that's not the case.
Yeah.
But it goes back to trust me. And if anything, trust the work.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I'm from the Show Me State. You are too. And like,
All facts.
bro, I see it. You show me. Like, I'm in. Like,
Hey,
yeah, it's not.
hey, the man's been there. Shout out to the people from BSO. Because in the car, you wasn't in the car with us, Daniel, but even, I think, what's his name, Matt, or one of the guys goes, Trevor, I was probably spent 100 hours with Tim before you ever came into his life. And every time I see a video, I think to myself, I learned something new about Tim.
Yeah.
That means I've done a good job
Right.
because these people physically have spent money, time, energy, and effort with this guy and still think, damn, dude, that was good information.
Yeah.
That means, again, I've done something you couldn't do, which makes me unique, which I already knew, to help make sure we add value every day to your quality of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And same thing here with Daniel, man. Look, I told Daniel, I said, dude, at the Blendery, you're creating a very unique space. The right buzz gives you opportunity to sell other whiskeys. If they come in the door, there's no opportunity where they shouldn't leave a whiskey. Now let's highlight the whiskey, but even more importantly, highlight you. I like this guy. I know what he values. I appreciate his candor. Super kind, considerate, give back mentality. There's no situation where I'm like, this guy doesn't succeed.
Yeah.
Like, I know that. And
Yeah.
trust me, I've walked away from class. I'm like, ooh, I literally, like, there's nothing I could do for you.
Right.
It's not worth the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's physically not worth the money. It's like, yo, good luck. Because
Yeah.
as great as I think I am, I'm not stupid.
I can't help you.
I physically,
Yeah.
look, mentally,
Yeah.
there's nothing I could do for you.
Yeah.
So I have to walk away. But I tell you this, man, because of Whiskey Tangos, what it does, everything he's taught me, what I think he's going to do, how it's going to impact the future and the stuff that's going on, I'm like, again, I'm being funny, but shout out to, Jimmy and all those guys. Like, man, hit him up, see if he can bring some bottles. I'm like, yo, it doesn't work that way, bro. I mean, if I need him to bring bottles, it's like Tim leaving 18-year Barton and all these other things. Like, there's no situation where I can't be like, Tim, can I get these bottles? And he'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me trying to drink the whiskey and get drunk. It's like, Trevor's going to make videos. I understand his goal. I know what his vision is. He wants to create the best whiskey. He wants to control the whiskey. Like, he could articulate that in a very short term, which cuts some of my costs. But even more importantly, helps me align myself with the brand he's building.
Right.
Oh, that we're building, right?
Yeah. 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 We are building. Yeah. I mean, like, we're all. I feel like Tim's done a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, you've been instrumental, in that and in the marketing and branding side of that, and then Tim in the
I'm as good as the ability-
perfection and the drive to get that product out, right?
100%.
And then to include us in the distribution and the sales channel of that, man, is just it's phenomenal, and I love to see it. I love the way it works. I love the way business works, and I love the way relationship and network works, and like to see you guys and sit here, even a little bit more personal tonight, and I mean, we spent some personal times
Very much so.
at KBF and Kentucky on the trip before, like got to know each other and like, man, shared some stuff, and like it's just dude, it's not just business or work, like it is network, community, and relationship.
Dude, that right there. Look, I almost want you to say it again because, again, guys, I walk into things and I'm pretty silent. Big ups to Daniel because to a degree, you almost pressed me for information.
Oh, I did press you for information.
You were like, so tell me a little bit more about the marketing and like what you're doing and like, hey, we're trying to get this going. And I'm like, and I told Tim, I said, Tim, listen. And I even told him, I said, because Daniel's like, yo, what does it cost to bring you in for a weekend? I said, Tim, he was confused. I'm like, Tim doesn't care. Because even in a video that we shot recently, he said, he asked me, what are you going to do when Heaven Hill and others call you? I said, you know the rules. It don't work that way. He laughed, but it's like, call you. I don't want to know whiskey the way he does. I love branding and communication. I think that from my standpoint, there's a value add, but I'm as good as you, man. I'm not confused by that. There's people who want to step over people or highlight or be like, oh, look at me. I'm like,
that's the thing, man.
Good on that,
that's
bro.
the thing, man. Like when people aren't shoving themselves into the spotlight, right? That's a sign of a true character. Mm-hmm. For me to say like, hey, I'm gonna let that person in.
100%,
You
bro.
know, I'm gonna reach out to that person, and I'm gonna dig because they know something.
Hey,
And
big
I wanna
ups to you,
know.
Daniel, because again, you don't know how much I struggle with friendships, relationships. Despite what you see on a Monday, it didn't start this way, man. I struggled with
Yeah, we
friendships.
talked about that.
Yeah, and relationships and trusting people and men and women, whoever. And so when you ask those questions, I was like, wow, he might be interested. Now, mind you, it took Tim to give me the peace I need to
Yeah.
trust
Yeah,
people are okay.
yeah,
I come from a very dark background, people. What I would tell you is guys like Daniel that keep me reminded that the world's going to be okay. If it's in people's hands like Daniel, like Tim, and even to a degree like myself, guys, I don't want anything. Like when you get to a certain level, it's like, it's like, hey man, I'm gonna do. It's like, no, you're not. no, it's like the people in the dog world, like, man, if you send me one of them dogs, man, it's gonna be super popular. I'm like, bro, you can't make a dog more popular than me. Stop it, stop it, bro. Like you can't. You don't even know the formula to it.
You just paraded them around here just a minute ago, dude, and they are like amazing specimens.
That's my point. These
awesome
are puppies.
animals,
There's no dog in this house that you saw that are over 16 months or a year and a half. You're all the year old. Someone says,
puppies.
why is it that these dogs are so quiet in a room full of 15 people at times talking on a Monday and hollering like no dogs making noise? I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that.
Last time I was here, I kid you not. Last time I was here, I was with my son and we did the wedding blend.
Yeah.
You know, at the blendery, and then my buddy and his son did the wedding blend, and I don't remember who else was here. I think Eric was here, and
his son.
I forget. There was 6 or 8 of us or whatever.
Yep.
And you were telling me that there were 12 dogs here.
Oh, for sure.
And Jamarcus was here. I was like, I didn't hear a dog one time. I didn't see a dog one time. I thought this son bitch is lying to me. There's no way there's a dog here.
Dude, there's a ton of dogs here.
And,
so
and then you parade them around. I'm like, God, Lord, look at this, man. That's crazy.
and it's again because quality precedes excellence. And in this case, I walked Mowgli today for 1.4 miles.
Okay.
I had Maestro on a pillow for literally 30 minutes hanging out. He's biting and holding onto the pillow with this little 55 pounds. You got to take care of the dogs. I've said that 100,000 times. Nobody tells you to take care of your whiskey, man. And I don't say that, frivolently or just because. I would tell you that whiskey's about good times, good people, and community. And what I will promise is that when you lean into people like Daniel and others who have vision and they're executing and they have, again, goals and questions, you go, how do we fail if we partner with these guys? You don't, because they're willing to share, man. I don't know what I don't know. What I do know is how to communicate. What I can promise is through practice we'll become better, a.k.a. we'll meet progress. I can't say we'll get perfect, but like he said, he had a first row seat to watching the blender go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And you go, this guy might know something.
Yeah.
And if I was ever wrong, go look at the videos. And as I said, what video are we selling whiskey? None. What video are we teaching about whiskey? Every video. What video is everybody getting better because we exist all the time?
Yeah.
How many videos are you entertained? All of them. How many videos are we having fun? Every last
All
one
of
of
them.
them. So
Yeah.
you go, I would watch that every day. And get this, it wasn't about the whiskey.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I like those guys. And that's the video. I'm going to tell you this, guys. I love Daniel and what he's doing, and I'm glad to be a part of his life. Glad he asked the tough questions, and I'm super grateful for him showing up on a Monday, man. Monday's a tough day for most, but to see guys show up on Monday, you go, wow, we've done something right.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate the ask. Like, we talked about before, like one of the keys is saying yes. And so fortunate enough to be asked to come and hang out. And man, I'm looking forward to, some of the things we talked about in the last one, like, we're not done. We're not going anywhere. We're not done. Get ready, and for us in Southwest Missouri, like I've had a front row seat here to you guys to see what you guys have done in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And then to see the level of quality of products that we're bringing into Southwest Missouri is ridiculous.
Super ridiculous,
Bro,
man.
I mean, like, people blow me up from Texas, like,
dude, he didn't know
they're
that.
pissed.
And look, he doesn't, well, he's learning this. We created such a Texas cult, per se, that when they see a great barrel, Daniel got to an 18-year that fucking was like full barrel.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
big
and
one.
when they see him take a great barrel, they go, what the fuck, bro? I want that.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, really? Now, the realest thing you can do is put your money where your mouth is. And these fuckers put their money where their mouth is.
Right. That's right.
And you go, oh, they're serious.
Yeah.
Which then he goes, Trevor, how do we create that same buzz in Ozark?
Yeah,
So-
how do we communicate that to the community in Missouri? Mm-hmm. And we're dude,
But you saw it even last time because it goes back to, you've been there for a few times. Shout out to BSO, a.k.a.
Bourbon Society of the Ozarks.
And they go, Tim, let's do a video. And Tim goes, talk to Trevor about it. And he walks off, right?
Yeah.
And they go, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. because in their mind you go, so you told me that you've been on 4 barrel picks with Tim. You never want to do a video before. Now you want to do a video?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's like, how valuable has Tim become video wise?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think
Or
that's
my bad, the blendery.
yeah. Well, I think that's the thing is like people are seeing like obviously the quality of the whiskey's good, quality of the product is great, but there's also like this really great value in the networking, in the video, and the marketing arm that you know obviously like people were late to the game to say that like you know like, and say like, hey, this would be great to try to spread the love into Missouri and let everybody know about it and everything like that. So like yeah, I mean I appreciate the front row seat. I appreciate the invite for the booze and food.
Huge.
Is it food and booze and food? What is it?
Well, either way.
Way.
But
I
like
call it
he
what I
said, guys, let me be very clear. Tim said it in a full video on our YouTube coming up, The Art of Whiskey, where he said when he tells Daniel, hey, I'm going here on this date for this time, he says, dude, Daniel said he's coming. I said, really? He said, yeah. He's going to grab his shit, drive 7 hours, be here for our bear pick, and boom. I go, okay, that's crazy. Now, the byproduct is I'm like, I thought it was crazy, but I also tuned myself out of whiskey. So let me be very honest. And as I've said this with Tim recently, I said, Tim, I didn't take anything serious. Let me be very clear. I said I want to create a whiskey brand. I don't know that I was serious about it. So you're giving me a front row seat, literally. 1D. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. 1D
That
to
Friday night's getting you.
I know.
You want some water?
I'll survive.
Okay.
But I need some water. But 1D, first class, with Tim to Kentucky and many other places. You go, dude, I got a front row seat to see in progress, the future, etc. And I'm still not tuning in. I said, Tim, I think I fucked up. Let me be very clear. Said nobody, this is documented, it's 31 minutes. I'm like, yo, I fucked up. I didn't take it serious enough because I start getting recognized for whiskey. So Daniel says, hey, I recognize you for your efforts and what you're doing for the blendery. I can't overlook that. That's why he's here. Appreciative, man. I'm more grateful for you showing up because everybody wanted you to come, including me.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, dude.
I appreciate that,
Trev,
dude.
see if you get Daniel to come. I heard he's going to be here on Monday. I'm like, how'd y'all motherfuckers say? He texted me 2 weeks ago telling me 10-6, I should be down, man.
I didn't text anybody. I text Tim about the same time I text you. So you two were the only two that knew.
That's my point. But they all heard through the grapevine that you were going to be here. I said, dude, I'll send him a message and we'll see if we can contact. But I said, guys, I can't justify in my mind because I'm a value add guy, right?
Right.
I can't be like, hey, come bring these bottles. I'm like, no. You bring the bottles, let's do some reviews. Let's talk about whiskey. Let's create content. Let's make sure you have 1,000 more things to post on social media. Let's talk about your value add and what whiskey means to you, etc. That's a value.
Yeah.
All the extra shit, that cool shit, like let me get bottles, like I don't understand it, bro. Because I said, if you guys didn't understand, Tim left Fat Elvis. Tim left 18-Year Barton. Tim left. I said, bro, you guys don't understand. I got trimmers. There's no whiskey technically that he won't give me.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the reason why I think that I've called Tim and I kindred souls before, like a little bit, like, dude, like whiskey was meant to share. Whiskey is just whiskey's just the avenue of the generosity of like how to build the business. Like, whiskey's just the thing that we use to build the business, but the generosity and the heartbeat behind it is like, hey, there's something great here. Let's share it. Let's get it out. Let's get people to try it. Let's build a community. Let's build a network. Let's build 100%. Relationships. Like those things are the driving factor behind what we're doing here.
So much success, people, and that success, believe it. If you wrote success on the board, you identify how you want to be successful. I promise you don't get there without great people.
Yeah.
No matter what if nobody tells you this, write down your top goals, what you want to achieve, identify success, and then I promise you will not get there without great people. Yeah. And big thank you to Daniel. Tim literally lets me lead the social media charge per se, and he never questions me, man. And he mind you ask questions, but it's like, we can't do that. Or I would be like, hey, he's like, no, I don't want to do a video. I'm like, okay, perfect. And we got to do it. He's like, all right, that works. If any moment in time he had to think about social media, it becomes he's in a different business. Because he gets to focus on whiskey, I get to ask him amazing questions about whiskey and highlight amazing opportunities others get to purchase the whiskey and share with others.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, my man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You answered the original question at the beginning of this right here. Another good opportunity for others to connect to you and what you're doing, guys. Whiskey Tangos is probably the second, if not only place at this moment in time where you can get the blendery and its best barrels.
Yeah.
He's literally there, meaning Daniel, when we pick barrels. So he's not confused or missing a step. He's physically in the room, and then he gets to come to the blendery, try it again, and say, "Oh, yep, that's exactly what I thought." Boom, boom, boom. Let's put it in this barrel. So the man has a hands-on approach, if not touch, to every whiskey he brings back to Missouri. So if you ever thought about what whiskey tastes like with a special touch, this man physically, mentally, emotionally, and literally physically gets to put his hands or his perspective on every barrel and every bottle that comes into your home and with friends, which is why the buzz is so crazy. And Tim does the same. When you bridge those two gaps, amazing things happen, which is why I'm so intrigued by like seeing how far we can push whiskey.
Yeah, man.
What I would tell you is, man, congratulations on everything that you've done, everything that you're doing, and all the things that you're basically kind of like becoming more aware of. And I don't think you were unaware.
Yeah, and you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
Right, and so and you're never too old to learn, and so
Not at all.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, dude, I've learned a ton.
I want to make sure you hear that, people.
Yeah.
I walked into the whiskey world and I had no clue.
Yeah,
That there was a nose, a flavor, a taste, a palate, a front palate, a mid palate, a finish. I didn't walk in from a marketing and branding standpoint because I knew. I walked in because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And my superpower is ignorance. So imagine me walking in and me leaning into the fact that I don't know. And the guy saying, "Why would I hire you?" "Oh, because I don't know." "Well, why is that beneficial to the business?"
because I'm going to ask questions.
"Let me show you." He goes, "Oh, that's interesting." So people begin to learn because of my inquisition. But I promise you, what you know could kill you, and what you know could prevent you from prevailing, to say the least. Big thank you, as I said, to Whiskey Tangos and the Whiskey Blender for allowing me to come in and be ignorant and not know. Because I don't know, I get to share so much with you guys. And I'll tell you this, learned a lot from Daniel as well. As he said, we've had some good conversations off camera, and my God, it's why we're sitting here today. And I was like, man, again, the excitement from the other grown men who are in their 50s, to be clear, about you coming into town was like, wow, you guys are that excited? That's crazy. But I said, they were like, and they were all asking me, "Trev, can you send him a message?" I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I said, yeah, that's the easy part. He messages me when things are going great. You think me asking him to pull up on a Monday is going to be the craziest thing in the world? That's crazy. I'm like, yeah. Daniel, you don't know this. I played the message that I sent you, voice memo, before I walked in. I said, this is all I sent to him. Nothing crazy. I'm just like, I could justify this. But I'm not going to ask him to bring you bottles that you never got. That's not going to happen, bro.
Yeah, man.
I said, if anything, we have to think about 3 to 10 videos we could do after the fact, which is why Tim leaves his barrels or bottles, and how much value we can add to the whiskey space. That makes it make sense to my head. Otherwise, fuck off. But guys, follow Whiskey Tangos Spirits. Is it whiskey?
Yeah, Whiskey Tangos Spirits, Ozark, Missouri. Google it. There's no other Whiskey Tangos in Ozark, Missouri. So there was a Whiskey Tango in Springfield, Missouri a long time ago. They shut down. But yeah, like Whiskey Tangos in Ozark. And then also the charity side of our deal is Ozark's Whiskey and Wine Social.com.
Boom.
Yeah, you can find information on our Facebook page from that website. And that's January 31st in Springfield, Missouri, benefiting 2 great charities. And we love. I know Trevor's coming this year, and there's a huge Texas influx that's coming this year. Bro, our 2 goals are have a ton of fun, and raise a ton of money.
All Tim showed me was all the bad videos that everyone captured. He said, "I'm telling my brother, capture this. You got to move this way and capture these like this. You would have killed it there."
Hey, well, you make fun of me the way I video too. You're like, oh, look at Daniel, shove in there. Like
it's a process because you don't understand your superpower, man. Look, then you're a good dude. And I think you don't know how important it is for people to be seen with you. And you learn this the hard way sometimes. So when you even give the phone to somebody, you go, wow, they want to see and be on film with me. So the one question I asked today was, how do we lean into fame more? I did everything I did for the dogs without putting in the formula fame. What's happened is the byproduct of our work and efforts is fame. I can't act like it doesn't exist now because
Yeah,
I
you
can
get
show you-
recognized.
I
You
get a
you
sh-
get recognized.
I can show you a message where someone says, "Hey, I'd love to drive down and hang out with you." Like, bro, this never gonna happen.
Bro, I saw you get recognized at KBF.
That's
Like,
my
I mean,
point.
yeah.
Dog related. So you go, we can't act like it doesn't exist, but it wasn't a part of the formula.
Right.
In your case, you understand business. Nobody might never know you know, but the business is done well. Same thing here, guys. Look, whiskey is a conduit, as Tim has said, to bridging gaps and connecting people to people. Big thank you to the Whiskey Blendery because I would have never met
Yep.
Daniel
Amen.
if we hadn't spoke to Tim and then pushed Tim's capabilities in the Whiskey Blendery. To be up 1,200 followers to 55,000 is huge. I purposely write the worst captions. I never use hashtags because it's either going to work or it's going to fail. And I've got to be thankful because the man trusted me. I'm telling you right now, shout out to our guy, Whiskey Tangos Spirits on Instagram. He's like, yo, Trevor, what do I do? Trust yet again. And Tim goes, hey, why would you do this again? Because I trust me, Tim. Who else do you know is going to do as much work as I do? You know?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Nobody can outwork me. And if we're just doing whiskey, you've built a home I couldn't build.
Right.
So go spend $10 million and build a blendery. Doesn't work the same.
No thanks.
Now go spend $10 million and find Tim. No thanks.
Yeah.
Now go spend $10 million and be passionate about whiskey. No thanks. You cut my path to the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
I've got the bar, I've got the barrels, I've got you and amazing people. You mean to tell me I can't do this again?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
this only works because of you guys.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean,
But go find you again and people like me who can interview you.
Yeah.
And that's control the narrative.
yeah.
We're good, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I love it. I remember one of the first times I ever talked to you, you talked about how you didn't know anything, but the best thing about you is you were curious.
Oh, huge.
I remember this to the day, the first time I met you, about you telling me that you're curious and you're not afraid to ask questions.
At all.
And like, bro, that's a secret formula that many people don't have.
Dude,
and so,
speak my
yeah,
language,
dude,
bro.
I just,
I've watched many people, especially online, be concerned with how people are going to perceive. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't read the comments. I don't reply to messages. I'm only here for the whiskey and the opportunity to learn. If I didn't ask the question, it means I didn't really learn. If I was worried about how you thought about the question, I didn't learn. Hey, what's this? You go, oh, that's so-and-so. Somebody says, oh, you should have knew that. Somebody else says, damn, I didn't know that. Which one means more? Which means more to you? The person who didn't know it. The person who did know it probably didn't know something about it in the way that it was described.
That's right.
Point is, I don't got the time to give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the second best thing I ever heard from you is like, even if you post bad content, post the content. Nobody remembers what the hell they saw yesterday.
9 o'clock tomorrow. Look, guys, when you watch these shorts or these Opus clips that he's going to cut when I post this stuff, you'll see this stuff at 9 o'clock one day. By the next day, you won't remember what the fuck we talked about unless it was something that stung you,
like
which is the goal.
Which, I mean, like, to be fair in this podcast, and the one we have with Tim, there's some nuggets,
Oh,
man.
dude,
I mean, there are some
look,
deep nuggets.
I
like,
sat down with you guys because it's like, oh, they might change. This might change their life.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is one of a few things. Now, here's what I'm betting on. I bet Whiskey Tangos comes back, aka Daniel. I bet he'll be back in Texas. I know he's gonna be back. He got like
you know
9 barrels.
I'm coming back.
And even more importantly, I bet if he comes on a Monday and there's time, he'll come back to Booze and Food and bring some amazing stuff that we could talk about, articulate, and share with others. So I bet if he was wanting to get into the content space, what better place to do it with people who already do what they do every day?
Yeah.
There's no better way to do it, man.
With the best products.
That's it. So you go, guys, keep it whiskey thing. Thank you a ton for your time. Until next time, right?
Yeah, thanks for tangoing.
Boom.